we're going to hear from a guest speaker, UCL alumna Helia Chung, who graduated in 2008 with a Bachelor of Arts in English. Helia is the breaking news editor at the Washington Post. Helia, I welcome you to the lectern.
UCL graduates, thank you so much for having me. I graduated from the English department in 2008, and since then I've worked in the government, the BBC, and the Washington Post. Let's take a moment to recognize what you've achieved. Completing a degree at UCL is already hard work, but you've done it during a global pandemic. It takes a huge amount of strength, patience, and resilience to do that. So, congratulations. Now, since I'm a journalist, I'm going to headline the rest of my speech as 4 things I learned after graduating. 1, life after graduating can kind of suck sometimes. My cohort graduated in 2008 in the middle of a financial crisis, and it took some of us a long time to find jobs. For those of us lucky enough to have jobs, it was also hard to adjust. Half the time, we couldn't understand the corporate speak our colleagues were using, and it basically felt like everyone else had it figured out and we didn't. The truth is, looks can be deceptive. For example, my biography looks good on paper, graduating from UCL, working for the BBC and the Washington Post, and getting a journalism award. But those are the high points. Here's what's not on my CV. I've been rejected for jobs at several media organizations, ranging from the New York Times to BuzzFeed. I've panicked and gone quiet live on TV. And even when I was a news editor at the BBC, I had people mistaking me for the intern. So the first thing is this: don't compare how you feel on the inside to how everyone looks on the outside. And don't worry too much if life after graduating doesn't look how you expected it would at the start. The important thing is to keep trying. The second thing I should mention is that my career wasn't straightforward. Some people study medicine and become doctors, or law and become lawyers, but it can often be less clear-cut. In my case, after a few years in the government, I had a quarter-life crisis, realized I wanted to be a journalist, and felt pretty lost and confused. With hindsight, I wasn't that unusual. I now know one lawyer who became a doctor, one doctor who became a journalist, and one journalist who is now a grocery store owner. So that's the second thing I want to offer to you. It's always okay to change your mind. The third thing is, there are a lot of good people who will help you if you ask. As a journalist, I've been in some sticky situations. Once, I was stuck in rural Thailand, in the rain and mud, with a dying phone battery, and I don't even speak Thai. And you know what else is scary? Going for a job and trying to negotiate your salary when you have no idea what number you should go for. I've been amazed at how complete strangers have helped me. For example, letting me charge my batteries or offering me food and water. Or, ahead of job interviews, I've talked to journalists I've never met, and some were kind enough to share their salaries with me so I could negotiate better for myself. When I talk about help, this applies to the UCL network too. Some of the best news reports I've done have depended on me asking friends and contacts at UCL for help, including people I didn't know well while I was at university. Even if you don't think people you know can help, they might know someone else who can, so always ask. And the fourth and final thing I hope to share is that I found it's really good to spend time exploring things you love, even if you're not sure where it will lead. For example, in my early 20s, I started making short films with my friends. They weren't particularly good, and we knew we wouldn't make any money. We just did it because it was fun. But with time and practice, I got a bit better at filming. And when I started trying to apply to be a journalism trainee, the fact I had made films helped me stand out. And years later, when I got my dream job as a foreign correspondent in Hong Kong, the fact I could shoot and edit when a lot of traditional correspondents couldn't, meant I could do the job better than a lot of others. My point is, if there's something you love doing, work hard at it and have fun. Don't worry if there's no obvious benefit in the short term, because it's never a wasted effort. What I found about life after graduating is that it's full of challenges, but with patience, passion, and help from others, it can also be really wonderful. You've all had the strength, persistence, and patience to study through a pandemic, the passion to study something you care about, and you're part of a UCL network that will do its very best to help you. So I think you're going to do great. Good luck, and I wish you the very best.